Hello everyone, my name is Nadia and I'm a crafter and a grafter, and I wanted to do this little video on Jesmonite plates and trinkets. Very in at the moment, very popular, very beautiful, and rather than starting at the beginning, I'm going to start at the end of the process, which is the sanding process, and how difficult it can be and how strenuous, but how amazing it is then to actually see your piece at the very end become something else. I've worked on some other pieces. I've worked on some coasters, which I've sanded, and I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes I've made as well. So the mistakes were mainly with the acrylic coating at the end. There's another one, and then an hexagonal one. So I thought I might just clear up the accent because I know that people get puzzled about it. I was born in France from an Algerian background. Algeria is a beautiful country in the north of Africa, and I lived in the UK for 13 years before coming to Australia 20 years ago. So that's is the accent and how either potpourri, as some people like to put it, or how mongrel it is, as my Aussie mate likes to call it. So anyway, I digress. I just wanted to show you how I do my sanding. So as I said, the piece comes out of your mold like this, obviously looking and finished, obviously. All my terrazzo big tiles are embedded in the black Jesmonite. And I want to get this dish and this plate to the finish look of one of these. So it's going to take a lot of sanding. I probably will speed this up because it's going to be really boring to watch me sand for what I think is going to take 45 minutes. I mean, it took 45 minutes for these, so it's going to take a lot longer for these. I'm going to start by the plate actually, because it's a nice flat surface. So Jesmonite has cured, my pieces are embedded. I did put some on the side as well because I really wanted to kind of have the effect of the sort of terrazzo, a bigger terrazzo pieces all around, as well as inside. As you know, bubbles are inevitable. So there is a few bubbles, but I think it's part of the charm of the handmade craft. Anyway, my trusty little bottle of water. I've got fine grit paper. I think that's 120. And then I've got some 400. Obviously, I reuse. This is still a bit damp. And get it wet. Oh, fantastic equipment here. Love it. From the $2 shop in Campsie, where I live. Right, not going to want the camera on me because I look a state today. Just really going to show you how it goes. So here it goes. So I'll do a little bit. So you can see, let's get that face out the way because there's a little bit. And here we go. So I've got my wet piece of sanding paper. I kind of know where some of the pieces are because they have come through. Some haven't come through and are much, much deeper in the place. So what I try to do is do my sanding. Try to equally sand everywhere so I don't have dents or dents bigger than the other. But as you can see, let's try to reveal this one and reveal the full. I'm not sure what this sound is going to sound like on video. Probably not very nice. They're literally wet, obviously, paper on Jesmonite, not dry sanding. If you did dry sanding, you definitely would want to wear a mask and be safe. You don't want all that Jesmonite powder going in your lungs. But this is wet, so there's very, very little powder coming out. It's literally doing that. Yesterday, first of all, I forgot to wear gloves, so I ended up with my manicured nails black, completely black, and not looking very good. But also, I ended up with blisters at the end of my finger from doing this, as I said, for what seems like 45 minutes. So let's kind of reveal the whole piece. As I said, eventually I'll go around. Sometimes what I use is a block because then it doesn't hurt my fingers. But obviously the block is much larger. So you would want to... Actually using the block is much easier as well, much easier. I just wanted to kind of show you, make sure that it is wet. If you feel that it's not getting the traction that you want, get it wet, because that's kind of start getting that fine layer of Jesmonite on the top soaked, and it's much easier to sand. I'm really hoping that this plate is going to end up beautiful. The pieces that I've embedded are pieces that I've worked on a plate. So I've made a large tray and then broke them up randomly, and then randomly obviously place them in my mold before pouring. So I think I might just end the video now, or pause it maybe. Never done YouTube before. It's all very new to me. Don't really have any editing skills either, but we've all got to start somewhere, haven't we? This has been amazing craft to do. It's very satisfying. It's fantastic for your mental health. If you find it hard to concentrate, if you find it hard to focus, if you have anxiety, I can guarantee you, or depression, that this will take your mind off things. It's very cathartic. And I did this for myself. Hopefully I can sell some of these beautiful pieces. But I do this for myself because I do suffer from anxiety. I'm so much better now. So much better. But I find that that's anything creative. You kind of zone out, and you are in the moment, and nothing else matters but what you're doing. So, anyone out there, doesn't matter what you do. You could be working with Jesmonite, polymer clay, whatever, draw, paint, plaster, cement, whatever the medium. You have to focus. That's my dog in the background, shaking her thing. So, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to show you how the sanding starts to reveal some of the pieces. So you've got to do more sanding because I can see that there are some here, and then I'll do the side. So all this layer is going to have to be sanded. That layer is going to have to be sanded to reveal the piece. And then I'm going to do the side as well. Look at that. I'm not sure what these little dots are. It's almost like the pigment that I've put in, because I did put it in when the mix was wet rather than dry. These ones, I've put my pigment in the wet, really mixed well. This one I did put it once the Jesmonite was mixed. I tell you what, I'm not unhappy about how it looks. It adds little bits of texture almost, and a little bit of dimension to the plate. This is more grey than the other ones, but I really like it. So I'm going to pause now and see you soon with a finished product. I forgot that I need to look at the camera. Yeah, need to really work on my social media skills. See you soon.